called the mayor this morning. I didn't even know her name or anything, but I heard about this mandatory maniacal mask mandate number, and I understand you're imposing this mask requirement. Yes, that's correct. I said, well, by what authority? And I'm looking for I'm a lawyer by training and background. I'm headed to the courthouse next, but we have these other issues to deal with first. And I said, by what authority do you do that? I'm looking for a law, an edict, a ruling, or an ordinance, something. You know what she said to me? She said, I'm the mayor. As though I'm God. I'm the mayor of this town. I said it, and that's it.
I think we gotta look each other in the eye. I think we gotta look ourselves in the eye. We gotta look in the mirror and ask ourselves, how can I be better? How can I expect more of myself and others? How can I be more responsible? How can I have more compassion? How can I have more courage? How can I be more fair? How do I make sure I wear the damn mask?
Described as a disturbing contest. COVID parties. Young people attend a party to see who gets infected first.
The kinds of gatherings we're used to, the parades, the fairs, we just can't have that while we're focusing on health right now.
Y'all have seen anything like that statewide in terms of people trying to infect themselves in these kind of preferred gatherings?
That is completely irresponsible and absolutely unacceptable. I'll let Dr. Cohen tell you what she may have heard about.
So what we're hearing is young folks are saying, I think I'm fine, I'm going to go get COVID-19, but they're out in their communities, they're spreading the virus further, and then those who have more chronic diseases, who are older, but still need to go to the grocery store or go to their healthcare setting or go to the pharmacy to pick up medicines, that means virus is still out in the community and can impact those people.
I'm protected because I made this hat from aluminum foil.
So we are doing everything we can to make sure that we are slowing the spread of this virus, staying 6 feet apart, wearing face coverings, washing your hand, exactly the opposite of what a COVID party would be. So we implore folks not to do that.
You need to stop snitching. All that yip yapping and jump jacking. Nigga, if you're scared, go to church. You knew the job was dangerous when you took it.
I'm coming right now, pushing my way through the crowd. Is it anonymous?
It is anonymous.
Does that make you feel better? Why don't you get a life, lady?
Dude, I have a life.
No, and that's going around taking pictures of
yes,
people?
Because what
I
you're
feel
doing,
so
can you not
sorry
follow
for
the
you.
lines on the floor?
Keep your mouth running.
The governor,
running.
In case you guys didn't hear, Governor Inslee, in his infinite wisdom, is deciding after over 100 and some odd days that we should all wear face masks inside and out. Here's what I say. Don't be a sheep.
I have a medical exemption.
Go on another one. You people are like monkeys falling out of a tree.
No, you're the monkey that hasn't.
Do you have an in writing?
I do. But you guys don't.
Actually, what we'll have to have certificates of who's a recovered person, who's a vaccinated person.
I just like to buy something and be on my way.
If a customer has like a medical condition,
Well, then he needs to prove that.
Yes. Okay, how's that grab you?
You can't just come in and say that.
Thank you.
we can't ask them to prove it either. Or like for us, we aren't allowed to do that. We'll get in trouble for this.
Why are you videotaping it?
Because I'm being harassed, man.
You're not being harassed, man. Go. You're ridiculous.
Mayor has asked us all to wear masks, and look at you, not wearing a mask.
Oh dear.
I wear a mask to protect myself. Ever heard of Darwinism, evolution? Evolve, mister.
Why don't you burn something down?
Why don't you go back to where you were?
Why don't you
Need to evolve
tear a
from.
monument down or something? You know?
Are you burning crosses? Are you burning crosses?
People are fucking idiots.
No, you're the idiot.
You have no life. So this is what your life is?
Dude, I'm out doing my shopping. Good luck with the virus. Good luck with the virus. Your whole family tree is getting cut off at its roots. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumb one like you.
When you're in the middle of an outbreak, wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, and it might even block a droplet, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is. And often there are unintended consequences. People keep fiddling with the mask and they keep touching their face. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not against it. If you want to do it, that's fine.
Looks a bit peculiar. Seems a little crazy.
We are nowhere near herd immunity. A party will not help us in any way. Please do not do that.
There's a big conspiracy.
Outdoor concerts, and it means things like parades. You know, things that here in the city can mean not just thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. It's just not time for that now.
What about protests? If people want to march down Fifth Avenue, are they going to be allowed to do so?
Look, Wolf, this is always an area of real sensitivity. If you're just talking about health, we would always say, hey, folks, you know, stay home if you can. But we understand at this moment in history, people are talking about the need for historic changes. This is a historic moment of change. We have to respect that, but also say to people, the kinds of gatherings we're used to, the parades, the fairs, we just can't have that while we're focusing on health right now.
I got this guy taunting me, this guy poking fingers in my face. You're gonna put a mask on me? Read the CDC that either 6 feet or a mask. You're coming into my space. It's not too out. Unbelievable.
You have no right not to be vaccinated. You have no right not to wear a mask. You have no right to open up your business.
Wait, can I stop you? No right not to be vaccinated? Meaning, if they decide you have to be vaccinated, we have to be vaccinated?
Absolutely. And if you refuse to be vaccinated, the state has the power to literally take you to a doctor's office and plunge a needle into your arm.
Part of what Mrs. Pelosi said is true. The federal government can recommend it. It's scientific arm. The CDC can recommend it, but it can't be compelled. Then that brings us to whether the states have the authority to do that. And the answer, again, is no. The state cannot interfere with that person's freedom of movement or freedom to wear or not to wear a mask. So it's the government's authority is really rather limited here, no matter how aggressive the pandemic may be. The feds have no authority to compel wearing the masks, and the states can only compel it when people are sick.
I don't want to talk to you. I want you to leave me alone. Go away. Please. Here.
Subject to its own laws?
When you come across someone who's wearing a mask, you can't read their facial expressions. You can't communicate effectively. So it really serves to separate people. But I believe there are other underlying, maybe more esoteric significance of the masks as well. Masks are used in initiation rituals. And perhaps you could envision this process as initiation.
It's not snitching. This is saving lives. You got to do it. People have been warned and warned and warned and educated.
I think people see a mask and they see an illusion of protection.
Where this sign reminds everyone to stay at least 6 feet apart.
and wear a mask. But enough people are not doing as they are told, so the city is cracking down. The mayor warns
Those fines can be as high as $1,000 per incident.
So all these masks are floating around out there. Which ones do health officials say you should use? None of them.
And if people really get sick?
Between the two of us, between me and Tom, he's sick, I'm not. Who should get the mask? Well, your natural instinct is to say, give me that mask. I don't want to catch what he has. But I should be begging him to wear it, because him, the sick person wearing it, better protects me, the healthy person, as if I were wearing it myself.
I think people see a mask and they see an illusion of protection.
So all these masks are floating around out there. Which ones do health officials say you should use? None of them.
That if they put the mask on, it'll somehow block viruses from getting into their mouth or nose when they breathe. That's just not the case. Anyone who does not have a respiratory illness, meaning a cough or sneezing, should not be wearing any type of mask.
The masks should be for the healthcare workers. The public should not be buying masks.
And believe it or not, by wearing a mask, you could be putting yourself at even more risk.
People do not use their masks correctly. They play with it. They wear it too long. They rub their nose underneath it.
You hear that, folks? You could be making it worse by wearing a mask, putting yourself at greater risk, because what do you do all day? You're doing exactly what they tell you not to do. You're touching your face all day and getting sick.
They kind of confuse people, like, so we need to pay attention to this?
We talked about how sick people should wear the mask, but outside of sick people, there are some others who should be wearing a mask, and who are they?
By wearing a mask, you could be putting yourself at even more risk.
If someone is a transplant patient, they have a weakened immune system.
You could be making it worse by wearing a mask.
Of course, that's going to be individual case-by-case basis, to wear a mask. That is a very small percentage of people.
They kind of confuse people, like.
Okay, viral particles, coronavirus and influenza, to name two, go right through that mask.
Putting yourself at greater risk, because what do you do all day? You're doing exactly what they tell you not to do. You're touching your face all day and getting sick.
But they can go right in. That's why they're not helpful.
See something, say something certainly applies to this.
How about new?